Folks, I'm going to tell you 5 quick facts about black bull markets. Now, did you know, number 1, they're New Zealand FMA regulated. Number 2, did you know they have a copy trading service where you can either be a signal provider or copy signals? And number 3, did you know they've got over 26,000 tradable assets, including Forex, crypto, stocks, indices, and even more? And number 4, did you know they offer 500 to 1 leverage? And number 5, if you open up an account today and trade 1 lot a month, they're going to give you TradingView Pro for free. Check them out, Black Bull Markets.
Good morning, folks. How's everybody doing this morning? My name is Zach. This is my third week of the Blue Guardian Challenge that I'm trading. Let's see what we got. Give me if you can, give me a post in the comments. Make sure you can hear me. Tell me where you're from. And how about what the most recent book you've been reading is. Yusuf, hello. Thank you for the confirmation on the sound. Appreciate that very much. I'm going to share my screen. There is a, there we go. This is the USD JPY, which was getting close to a setup for me here. We'll see what happens. So let me zoom in. You guys can see it a bit better that way. Anyone reading any books? Anything at all? So what I'm watching for here is, that could be another retest up here. Let's see. Right, this guy, this would be my raid line. Make it nice and straight, like so. Then I have down here, I already outlined my break line. And what I look for is a fair value gap to be left in this breakdown here. In which case, if it gets pulled back to it, then I'll get in. Here's Euro USD. Doo-doo, hi. Da-da, doo-doo. One of those. Thanks for being here. So I am typically looking at 1-minute charts. This Ankit, this is Euro USD. I thought I turned that. Oh, I don't have it saved on my options. There we go. So this is Euro USD and 1-minute chart. This is USD JPY 1-minute chart. And this is the one I'm watching right now. Put them both up so you can see them both. So if this one, I'd like to highlight my, yeah, so likely I'm going to need to break out above this because my filter is a moving average being clearly trending in a direction like it is over here where they're both sloping in the same direction, whereas this is choppy. Choppy doesn't help my trades at all. So Um, so let's see, was anyone that's listening here last week? Last Wednesday is the day that I do my stream on. Let's see. Some background music. That's kind of nice. Although with my headphones on, they switched to not full sound mode. They switched to microphone mode, so it doesn't sound. Here we go. Okay, so this just broke what I was waiting for here. So see, it broke below the two lows here. The thing that I'm still working through is that while it broke this structure here, and I think what I need to do is make sure that when we get a break like this, it's strong. Like this is a strong bar, this big red bar, yeah. Hey Robert, it's okay if you weren't here. I was just going to mention something that I was just curious if it would even make sense to folks if you haven't been, if you weren't here last week. So no big deal. So fair value gap is forming. It's probably not going to stay that way, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait on one more candle after this because of the lack of closing below over here. It does break the structure. I want to see something happen, but actually that helps. That actually helps a little bit. And top wick there. Great feeling, doo-doo first time. Is it doo-doo or da-da? Doo-doo, da-da. Okay, so this is a potential entry for me here. Let's see if I can get it set up before it's there. I can use a market entry if I need to. I just use fib. I like it to get past 50%. Stop line is up above 10% of the move, which is just where I have my red line here. You see it went right back up to the gap, but not into it. See if I can get my limit order in. There we go. Limit order is in. That way, if it flashes up there real quick, I can hopefully get in. But as soon as it starts making new structure, then I will cancel the order if it does. So if it comes in, puts another a little top up here, and then comes a little lower, then I'll have to wait for a new setup. Oh, look at that. We got a breakout. Not breakout. That's the wrong word. I'm not looking for breakout. Break above this line I was looking for. So we had a stop raid. Well, potential liquidity grab here down below this low here, which is this one, and then kind of powerfully move back up. So this is a potential entry as well. Gap is in here. Kind of a big gap. I don't usually like big gaps like this, but we can use the beginning of this candle as entry area like that. I'll put my limit order there as well. So whoever's listening, if you have questions, I like when people ask questions because it gets me thinking. It gets me curious. It gets the um, some of the things that I'm trying to do with this challenge, like work on my mindset and stuff like that. It helps me to lay them out there. So whatever kind of questions that may come up, I'm not going to say that I'm an expert and answer them in a way that's like the best or anything, but I think it's helpful to talk through some of those things sometimes. All right, so I did check news already. There's nothing in the pairs that I'm trading coming up today. I'll show you my dashboard for my challenge. I'm down a little bit from where it ended last week. I had a trade yesterday as a loss. I had two earlier this week that were one hour loss and one hour win. So this is kind of close. This last couple of weeks, the open time here hasn't really given even entries. I usually had to wait a little while, so it'd be nice to get a couple trades to talk about. This on the Euro USD on the left, the chart on the left there is, that's like a what you might call like a dream entry or something like that, how low it is compared to the halfway point. I could put the entry like halfway through the gap, but I like this, what I believe based on my learning so far as an order block here. It's down close candle before it runs up and breaks it out, or like kind of reverses it. So right above there looks good to me. Looks like it's a little kind of mini consolidation here happening. Nobody's reading any books. It's interesting to me. I like reading books. That's okay though. The thing I don't really want to have happen is both of them enter at the same time. I don't love having both of them same exact timing, but they do play out differently though, even though they're kind of inverse from each other. They're not directly correlated. They're just, I mean, they both pair to the US dollar. USD JPY is on the right side. You know, I can do, let me do this. Background, let's make it big. Can you see that little label there? Hopefully that helps. I'll do it over here too. Okay, this USD JPY is about to trigger if it gets up to that gap. There it goes. That is in, I believe. Yeah, there we go. We're in. Well, I'm in. You're not in. Unless you're copying me, which I don't recommend. All right, so one of the things that I'm still learning to be okay with is entering trades on the wrong direction candle. You know, entering short on a green candle, it's always a little bit unnerving for me still, but it does provide for entries that are much better, and I imagine slippage and spreads and stuff, it's kind of favorable in those terms. So you just have to learn to sit with these moves that go continue before it goes lower, if it does. I'm not saying it will for sure, but you know, these little periods of drawdown before trade moves in your direction. So let's see. And it looks like I'm gonna end up getting in both of them here. And then of course the hope is that they both go in my direction. If not, then I'll be sitting and watching for a little while, looking for something else. But the strategy that I'm using has a decent amount of trades, and handfuls of small trades that take out, or that get taken out by a few that get up to big 5R type targets or something like that. So Irish is USD was just stopped out. It was a sell. So no chance to even go in the right direction on that one. So that, like I said, though, that's kind of part of it. Like I get to have these like handfuls of either break evens or -1 risk reward trades, and then they get taken out by 2s and 3s and 4s and 5s once in a while. So just trying to be chill about that. Sometimes what we'll see too is the stop out move is actually another raid. So you can see this level here. It's another raid line. And that was taken out. So then it basically, as the range expands, it could then break down below this new break line for me here. And it'd probably be like a 2, 3, or 4 or 5 minute chart trade setup versus the 1 minute, because then the ranges get bigger, the candles get bigger, so you have to look for a gap in a different time frame. There we go. All right. Well, one losing trade there for everyone watching. It's how to sit through a trade and just watch it go straight to your stop. And then if there's a chance too that just wants to just move higher too. It's like higher before maybe going lower based on big picture. It's a 15-minute. Let's see, this level is broken. It's returned up so far to that gap. There's another gap up here. Order block here. So we'll see what happens here. It might be just finish moving up before it wants to move lower. But again, I'm watching 1 minute chart, so one of my filters is the moving average. The dotted line needs to be below the solid line for a short, vice versa for a long. USD JPY or Euro USD is slightly in profit, just barely, but it is at least giving me green candles. I didn't have to sit through a bunch of drawdown. So what I'll do is I'll set an alarm up here. Actually, I need to put in my other reading, no running profit. Oh, you just can't see it. It's behind my picture. It's $26. I risk 1/5 of a percent per trade, so I can feel good about stuff like this quick loss. I don't feel good about it. I shouldn't say that because I don't like losing, but it's a part of it, and so risking too much is a good way to get Let's see, can you see that marginal profit? Oh, there you go. Profit's over on the right there, buddy. If that's helpful to you. So it's almost to 1R. I need to set up my target selector here. And I just use this expansion tool. All right, so not quite there. Let's get that out of there. There we go. All right, so that gives me my levels for my stop management. Bias in JPY. Do you mean the USD JPY that I have here? If that's the case, then I was looking at it a minute ago. I think this is I don't know. Looks like higher, bullish maybe, but as it sits right now, I look for these trades because of stop management. I look for these trades just mainly based on the 1 minute chart, and then once in a while I'll check out up to 5 for entries. It's kind of stretched out. Sorry. So one of the things I've been working on in my back testing is looking at whether my stop management would be better if I just went to like a 2R, two risk reward every time, leave stop at where it's at the whole time, rather than sliding it every time. And so far, it's a bad idea, as far as I can tell. If I did a 2R all or nothing on all of the testing I've done, it would still be positive, but not. It would be a total of 24R over 78 trades. It would be minus 15R on a 3R all or nothing setup versus the stop management I'm using is 39R over 78 trades. So I'm going to stick with my stop management, even though it feels like it's maybe not the best idea all the time. Because it feels like, oh, I should have just taken 2R instead of 1, or I should have taken 1R instead of break even, you know. So I suppose I could do a test on 1R all or nothing. I don't think that is going to necessarily show anything better. HG. Oh, wait a second. I might have had my formula wrong here. Okay, so 19, 19 RR, or 19R, if I did 1R all or nothing, over 78 trades. So I think I'll stick for the once in a while hope of getting the 3 4s and 5s while protecting profits using sliding stops. So kind of just waiting at this point to see if anything else shows up, at least on the USD JPY. Euro USD is just waiting to do something, I guess. Dum, 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 dum. The other thing that I'm working on in my testing is eliminating the moving averages, and learning when is right and good to get into these types of trades. Regardless of whether that the indicator looks like. And I like the indicator because it's simple to look at. It's a quick filter, but I feel like it limits possibilities. And maybe it's a good thing. Maybe as I continue testing, it'll show that there's a good reason to keep it on. But I'm still working through ICT mentorship 2022 right now, so all right, well, we're moving down into drawdown. We got a decent amount of room though. It's only a little bit there, so shall see. I also would eventually like to learn where and how to add into positions, increasing sizes. Trades reveal more to my favor, or not to my favor, but in terms of further signals of the initial entry being right. For instance, if the Euro USD, if rather than just getting out, if it pops up here and comes back down, like if right now after dropping below here, maybe even tagging below this low, then moved up above this level, I would like to look for another entry and add into that position, feel confident about it as it pulled back and then potentially went higher. So I have a decent amount of room up here. Currently I set my target to 5R, if I can get it. There we go. Nope, there it goes though. 2 losses for me this morning. That's a bummer. Right, well, so it goes though sometimes. Might be shifting. Lots of room down below. Okay, so this entry would be at the top of the gap. Top of the gap, that's below 50%. We're just getting the switch of direction. Limit orders in for kind of switching directions on USD/JPY. Yeah, Daniel, I know I know what you're saying. It is an experiment in testing, and it's not. I am learning ICT for future setups, but this setup is I just back tested and found that over the course of hundreds of trades, it works. So this is what I'm just testing for this challenge, and it's a practice and discipline in following the rules set before me, or that I've set before myself, I should say. So it's proving to myself that I can follow rules that I've set and tested, and rather than just switching strategies on a whim. And because that's something I've done a lot in the past, and I'm trying to get away from that. So totally get it, and I hope to be trading more ICT style as I learn more. For now, though, this is what I've set up for myself for this challenge. So thank you, though. I appreciate the comment, Daniel. Just won't quite trigger. There it goes. Jeez. Love you. I'm not sure if I'm gonna say this right, but Rishab, I use a 25 and a 50, and there's no thing. That's just what I chose. That's what I like, the way it frequency of flip overs and that sort of stuff. So it wasn't magic moving average numbers by any mean. They're just two that I chose, and they are smooth, so they don't change as often. So for instance, here I can show you the difference here. Put in exactly the same moving average. We'll make it white. Simple 50 period. So you can see how much different that is. So that's, this black line is the smooth moving average. This one is the simple. So, you know, I like the way this moves a lot better. Smooth moves. So this one's almost tagged out one arc to where I moved to break even, but not quite. Be rad to see a move an explosive move up. Although I think that target, 5R target, is unrealistic looking back. But that's what's nice about this management, is it's, so I'll move to break even there. Just crossed 1R threshold there, so it's free trade at this point, which is nice. So this, I'm gonna watch this guy on the 5-minute for a little bit, and the stop right there and break below 2 lows with some strength. Look at that. All right, so moving to 1R. And I know there's not anything magical about trailing by R values for stops. It's just the way that I've tested it and feel comfortable with. And it's the times when you get moves like this that are pretty strong and that allow you to get to these bigger targets. So if it continues this momentum towards upside, then I can get back a little bit of what I gave away earlier. So, and it's this kind of simplicity that I like. It's like I'm not so stuck on an idea from this earlier trade that I lost, that I feel like I need to, you know, get vengeance on my idea. Like, oh no, I want it to be short. I want it to be short. I want it to be short. That kind of thing. So it's nice to have it be so simple that it's a way for me that helps move away from emotional trading. Like even on this trade here, I was looking at it And looking back, like, wow, I should have, maybe I should have taken a partial up here to be able to, not have a loss. That's the kind of thinking I have. So I'm trying to get rid of that. Rishab is at 1/5 of 1%. So it ends up being about $50 on this account challenge that I'm doing. So this is a neat move though. There's like all green candles. I'm not accustomed to that. Usually I'm sitting watching, some chop and some pullback and stuff. So, but it's always at these times where I'm like, okay, should I just take profit? Should I just do it? Should I just take it? And again, I've said it a couple times this morning. It's like, for this style, it requires that I just follow the rules and sometimes get 1Rs and sometimes get 2s and 3s and 4s, and every once in a while it'll tag up all the way to the top, get 5R. But looking at this makes me sad because of the strategy, I didn't have an opportunity to get in. So even this move here, which is pretty solid, break down below, my rules is that it has to be, the pullback has to be greater than or equal to 50% of the move itself. So I can't get in on this gap entry right here. So that's kind of sad. Looks like 3R. There we go, 3R. So I'm moving to 2. So that's pretty neat in that it's already covered the 2 losses from earlier. So it's kind of for me fun to watch and have you guys watch with, just because it's validating in a way that just to see how it works. How discouraging it can be to have 2 losses in a row, even for me, and how quickly my mind starts shifting to, I don't know, just a different mentality. It's like, oh, I did something wrong. I didn't manage a trade right. I shouldn't have taken the trade. Those kind of thoughts, and then that's what leads to my strategy hopping and then like looking for something new instead of just following the rules and trusting the testing that over time it's going to continue moving up, or it's going to continue being profitable, so long as and this is one of the tricky parts too, is the testing I do is every trade setup that shows up in a session. So not limiting for time except for the first few hours of the session swap over in the last hour or so. Like, I don't trade those times, but 3 a.m. server time to whatever it is in the afternoon, 2300 server time or something like that. And I'm not typically up trading. For me, I'm a West Coast USA time zone, so I'm 3 hours behind New York. It's after midnight if I want to trade London, that kind of thing. So every once in a while I'll be not able to sleep and I'll trade at my nighttime. But not very often these days. I've kind of flipped my schedule. For a while I was up until like 2 a.m. my time, always looking at the Asian range and the London session start, kind of overlap time, and I like it. The moves actually, I like the way the moves are. Those sessions better than the New York session. Don't get quite the flip flop of big news driven wicks spreading an entire huge range. That's just me. That's just preference. It's been cool being a part of this session too. because my normal workday puts me in watching. I can watch the screens at like the end of the New York morning and the New York afternoon. Which is usually more predictable as well. Or not, I don't want to say predictable because that would make it sound like I could predict it, but it's less volatile in the afternoon, at least typically. So like I said, I was gonna watch this one on the 5-minute chart for now. It gives me this raid move here all the way to a break move below even that old low. So question is that a raid to move higher, or is it at the beginning of a move lower? That's a good question. But this is set up pretty nice. Let me actually check here. 3 minutes, okay. 3 minute actually gives different range. Maybe let me check 2. So it's moving back up. Yeah, it feels nice to know that it's not a waste of a morning trading. Anyways, this guy here, on a 2 minute, you can watch that move, which gives me a little bit more of a risk on the trade in that it doesn't give quite as much room. Sorry if that's it might be kind of not fun to look at when I do a fast zoom like that. I like to look at big picture like that. I think I like this range better here for an entry. So this is 3 minute, yeah, 3 minute chart. And it changes the gap location to what I would consider more favorable here. Also, probably, less likely that it could touch, but it puts the range of entry and the stop gets above these last 2 highs. So it would be probably a direction shift if it ends up above there. But it also changes the possibility of target bigger targets because it all ends up on a much higher time frame. But you can see how much it's extended up. It has consolidating, so it's rested, so to speak. But I like the possibility for a move somewhere down there, even on this a little bit higher time frame for me. So I'm going to go ahead and put an entry in there for a short. I think adjust that a little bit. I think I am just going to get above that this little high over here too, just as a third. So just changes the size a tiny bit. So I'll leave that open and watch them both here. So USD JPY on the right. There we go. Oh, you can't see that now. Maybe up here? still show up if I go big. Yes, it does. There you go. So almost stopped out. We'll see. Can poke up above these guys in here. There we go. Come on, come on. I used to watch this one trader that would try to he would call it the what do you call it, mouse push. He tried to get everybody in the chat room to at the same time push their mouse up the bar to make it go up more. That was pretty funny. He was totally goofing around, but I think it's pretty funny. So mental game here for me. I want to get out. I'm like in super protective mode. I want to abandon this trade and take the 3R, since it would not only make back the losses from earlier, it would also be ending the session with, you know, +1. So got to try to be objective, not put those feelings into play. That's why I have this challenge. That's why I'm doing this strategy the way it is. It's simple. It's, you know, it's fairly mechanical. I will on occasion manage a stop based on a, what do I want to say? Based on a certain levels rather than R levels, like a structure levels, I should say. So it would be pretty neat to have a live stream 5R trade. So I need to do the mouse push and get everybody on here to push the price up. I mean, that was when I was really pretty fresh and getting into equities and stock market trading and stuff, and he kind of made a big drum up of excitement over it, and then said what his trick was, and, you know, getting everybody to do the mouse push, and I just kind of was chuckling to myself, and I thought that was pretty clever. Is anyone else? So that's 42 of you watching this. Anyone in any trades, forex or indices or anything? What y'all's got going on? Let's see. There we go. You guys can see that, respond to that. That's a cool way to do it. Canadian Joseph. Let's take a look at looks like you're on the right side on that one, Joseph. Selling that one. Actually not too bad of a spread on this broker. Less than a pip. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, no, no. Bah, cool. Looks like you got the right side of those two trades, Joseph. Nice. Nice work. Depending on where you're in, I guess. That's how it goes. So I don't think I would do it in the future, but I am, like I said, I'm looking for ways of learning how to add in. So like right there, there's a break towards the upside above these levels over here, as well as a return. Yeah, nice. 50 pips. What are my pips? What do I got pips wise? I don't know everything about pips. 25. 25 pips. I was trying to think about pip trading some time ago over the course of my practice in Forex, and I like the idea of it, but what I noticed is because of the different times I was trading, I was trading ranges that were easily 5 pips, and then I was trading ranges that were easily like 2 pips, and they don't mesh that well. So to get your average of your wins higher, it wasn't working. Because if you win in the 2 pip range on a scalping style, which is kind of what I've always liked the idea of, and then you lose during the 5 plus range pips, then it doesn't really balance out very well. So I had this setup where I would base entry size based on the ATR, which actually worked pretty good. But it was a little bit messy, and I ended up doing really well for some time, and then getting ahead of myself and losing almost my whole account at the time. So risk management has been pretty important to me since then. So hence the 1/5 of 1% instead of KFC, like Kentucky Fried Chicken. Let's see, ME. There we go. Kentucky Fried Chicken. I think it's Kentucky Fried Chicken. I don't know what other kind of chicken stands for KFC. My son just went to Chick-fil-A the other day for the first time, and he said it was pretty dang good. So the best chicken strips he's ever had. We we live on an island off the coast in Northwest Washington, and there's no Chick-fil-A here. So he was off going to camp, so he got to go get some Chick-fil-A. Pretty awesome. Just got the all right, let's do this. I want to see what you guys think about this here. Okay, I'm going to leave that there. You guys can post some comments while I run and fill up my coffee. Alrighty, back from coffee action. Nothing. Nobody thinks it can make it to 5R. Nope, there it goes. All right. Almost got to the 4R, so I could slide to 3, but didn't make it. But that's okay. Cool. So let's see, how do I get rid of that? All right. So I think that's going to be it for me this morning. Let me do this and show my dashboard for you guys. Where I'm at with the challenge. So all right, so this is where I'm at. I am sitting still in the positives. You can see in just this couple losses that I had, break even yesterday, a little bit of back and forth. So overall down a bit today, nothing too crazy, but still in the profit of the challenge itself. So happy about that. Need to just kind of get the next leg up. I'm tempted to up my risk just because, you know, this is a challenge and I want to do it fast and make people happy, but it's ultimately about me and getting to a place where I can trade and support my family a bit more with this hobby passion of mine. So yeah, thanks again, Cam, Trading Nut, and Blue Guardian for this opportunity. And until next week, that's all I got. You guys all have a great day.